No, Hong Kong people, most of Hong Kong people, they have an agenda, after 10 years, within 10 years, they think that democracy is the most important agenda of Hong Kong because they want, a clean government, open government, and all the policy, can depends on the people's will, so that in Hong Kong, because of the democratic movement is not very, Hong Kong people, think the movement is, was disturbed by, the mainland China, and they don't let Hong Kong have the universal suffrage, So we want the Hong Kong government, the SAR government in Beijing, they can have the promise when we can have the universal suffrage. This is what we fight for. And we have to do our best, we have to fight for universal suffrage for the Hong Kong people.
So you had some really harsh words on Mr. Zhang.
It's quite
This election, the
yeah.
last election was really, you said something, you had a strong view on the last election. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
The last election, we think most of the Hong Kong people, the last election is 2004, the electoral election, the Democrat camp, they won 25 seats. But altogether in the electoral, they have 60 seats. But half is the constitutional election, it is indirect election, not direct election,
Not like here.
Yeah,
not
one person, one person, one vote. But only half is one man, one vote. So we have to fight for, all the seats is voted by the Hong Kong people, one man, one vote. But now only half. So we,
And you didn't like the fact that there was a candidate actually participate in the last election. Do you think that the election wasn't like really fair? Or
no,
what
it is. Of course, it is not fair because the Democrat camp, they have more than 60% votes, but they only got 25 seats. This is because of the system,
Right, the system
only
wasn't set
half,
up fairly.
yes. So we have to fight for it, and Beijing know the Hong Kong people's will. They know that. They know what Hong Kong people want. But they think the most important thing is the economic reform. The most important thing is, the people live in Hong Kong, they feel better, in their life, not in politics.
And you mentioned that the Chinese government has been giving a lot of goodies to the Hong Kong people and kind of calm them down.
So many, the mainland, the people come from mainland, they spend money in Hong Kong, But I want most of the people know that, the tourist trade, it is not a balanced trade, because Hong Kong people go to mainland China to spend their money more than the mainland people come to Hong Kong.
Right, yeah.
Before they close the door, now they open the door, but still not balanced.
So Hong Kong people still spend a lot more money
more than
in China
more than
the other way around.
Yes.
Right.
But 10 years, we still, stand in the democratic side, fight for the Hong Kong people. But the Hong Kong people, Hong Kong people is, they sometimes they are not very concerned about the politics development, politics reform. But in their heart, they want it. But if the Chinese communist regime give them some advantage, and they may say, okay, just waiting for someday we can have the universal suffrage. But we have to educate the Hong Kong people. If you cannot have democratic government, you know, open government, you know, we cannot, you know, have the fair economic, you know, and the society, you know, some people will still, you know, cannot fight for their right, you know, like the homosexuality, like the
Homosexuals.
yeah. So we have to fight for it. If the government is elected by the people, you know, like Canada, United States, you know,
Hong Kong doesn't have a charter of rights protecting the rights of
and the tycoon, you know, and the tycoon, they, you know, Hong
like
Kong,
Lee Ka-shing.
Lee Ka-shing and most of the Hong Kong tycoon, you know, because the policy is, you know, just to entertain the tycoon, not entertain most of the Hong Kong
Not to help
people,
most of Hong Kong
especially
people.
the poor people.
Right.
So our party, you know, is a social democrat. So we fight for the poor people.
Right. I have to ask this question. A friend of mine pointed this out to me. So you guys specifically pick a party name that in short form is LSD. So that's deliberate, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's for fun.
It's
Only
for fun. Yeah, right, right. So
And,
looking into
easy to remember
of course,
our party.
Right, yeah, LSD party. Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking into the future, are you very pessimistic that the general election, like universal suffrage, is not going to come to Hong Kong in the next few years?
Within 10 years.
Within 10 years. So you see that within 10 years with you guys and the Democrats and whatnot fighting
Yes.
hard,
Yes.
then you can see it in before.
And you know,
2017.
the democracy of Hong Kong depends on the mainland China. You know, if the mainland China have not a good future, Hong Kong cannot have a good future.
So from that note, you kind of expecting there something would change.
You know,
in China,
we
mainland
try
China
to
in the
have
next
some
10 years.
influence, you know, make the mainland China and the government have some change, you know, reform, political reform. Now they have economic reform, you know, but we want they also have political reform. You know, it's better for the people.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
So, you know, we just want to, you know, have some influence.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Wong.
Thank you.
Yeah.